Hey everyone, SpeeDMan here, and welcome back to part 8 of our Let's Learn Civilization 6 Korea run. Today's episode, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we've been working on. We just recently got this city, Porto Alegre, and we are now producing a Seoul. So that is in that position there. That'll give us, once it's built, 8 science per turn. So that'll help us a lot. Right now, at this stage of the game, we critically need that. Heartbeat of Steam, and I'm going to be working on getting more of these industrial era or later buildings constructed. That way we can complete the necessary requirements for a normal age. Eventually we will invest in another city here, but not yet. Awesome. So we have our settler. We're going to push them there. That is our, at the moment, is going to be our final settle for this stage of the game. There aren't really any other places that I can settle. You know, there may be something way further down here that hasn't been touched, and I may consider that, but I'm not really trying to spend manpower on that. What we will do is we will, since we did get the settler done in the city, we are going to invest a little bit into some other means of infrastructure. That would be a very, very decent industrial zone, but would take away a lot of yields. Like that's going to take away a 5 production tile, so that's just not worth it. It would be prudent for us to consider picking up one of these, because eventually we can get a wonder or something along these areas, and then that'll be useful. But let's get our culture up and running a little bit. We could use some boosts to our culture game, and this would help us a lot. These 2 theater squares will help us get to where we can be competitive. Good. So we produced another spy, and we are working another one down here on Jeonju. We're going to likely do an offensive operation. We will likely consider John Curtin as a target. We need to see if he has anything nearby that we could push to. If not, we will go to this city here and work on a boost for rocketry. Doesn't really make sense. There's no need for that. I would say let's do this one. This will be a good defensive one just to make sure that we hold on to suzerainty here. Plus, it will be a fairly medium to low risk type of situation that we can get into, so we will make an attempt for that. And then since we do have another governor title available, we could go into industrialist. Wouldn't hurt to do that since it's in this city and we do have an industrial zone placed in that position. Could always transfer cities from him to there, and that'll be a point of growth for us. It's a +3, so it's not bad. Giving us additional power and bonuses would be helpful though, so we could consider that as an option. Amani has what I need her to have. I'm not really worried about putting anything else into her. She's all set. Actually, while we're at it, since we have this city now, we are going to take that and just move her elsewhere. And then we could plug, we could plug Amani into this. We could take her into Hunza, and then since the city has the intelligence agency, which is perfect, that's where we just got ourselves a free spy. Good thing is that our operations are going to be a little bit more just powerful in general, so that's really helpful for us and critical for our growth. What we will be looking for is most likely a singular coal power plant at this position. We could also consider putting one here. I think in the capital would be best for now. But if we put it there, I think that would be really good for our growth potential. 7 turns. It would provide power for a lot of our cities, which would give us a nice chunk of boosts for other stuff. So let's do a singular coal power plant. And then what we will do... Actually, let's do broadcast center. This would help our culture. And once we get more of that powering boost, that'll help, but no biggie for now.
We now have the ability to build a...
Rocket science has been mythologized.
Perfect. We have the means to work on spaceports, and we will get started on that as soon as possible. Let's actually... Let's go for the grants. That'll help us get some more points. Since we do have access to rocketry, we are going to consider some options for us that we can go into. Steel would be good for us, just in general, because we can probably pick up a few more lumber mills, and then those would be really, really powerful. It would also give us walls and fortification in all of our cities, so that would be a good option. I'd like us to actually go into this. This would be really the overall best thing for us to do. Because then what we could do is we can go for some of this stuff. You know, we could push for that. We can push for, you know, launch Mars colony. We're going to need all of these things anyways in order for us to actually complete the science victory. Some of the others are way ahead. Not a major concern. We will catch up on that end soon enough. We just need to get these research labs up and running, and then we need to get power going. And once we have power, we're set. Perfect. We are first going to build a harbor. It's going to be a good harbor that'll allow us to get access to some good tiles, as well as get us growing a lot faster. Governors, so we're going to take Reina and then put her in Changwon. It'll actually be pretty good for us anyways to get her there, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to kind of expand our outreach of tiles a little sooner, and that could provide some benefits of just territory control for us. So not a bad thing, especially against Tamar and then anybody else that tries to push us. Cosby, good. So we are going to go for this. Start working up, some levels, get things going. We did get access to Theater Square here. So Theater Square is going to provide us some nice bonuses. It's a +4 Theater Square, so it's very powerful. One of the things that we're going to be looking for, though, is we will look for any and all means for us to really upgrade our growth. The good thing is if I build a harbor here, I can just ship units from there. So that could work. But I think a more viable option that we could likely consider, and we should consider, in a city like Seoul, is having ability to maximize the value in this. Our capital is quite strong as it is, so it's not a major concern for us to consider other options. 7 turns away from getting a research lab going. That's good. We'll end up buying another research lab. Good. So we have some of these things done. What we are going to do is we are going to take these guys over here, have them set position, and likely build, around these Seons, build a couple more farms. That way we can kind of boost ourselves up just a little bit more. Did get that. So we can pick up a decent harbor here if we want to get some growth going a little sooner. Let's consider spaceports. We will want to go ahead and plant those down since we're going to need that. So spaceport location that we can consider. It's going to need to be a location that will be beneficial for other areas. So we put one here. That'll be good. We can actually prioritize the spaceport, and then we are going to make a serious push as much as possible to pick up any and all space race project related stuff. And that's going to make a big difference for us. We'll make a farm triangle so that way we can surround farms by the Suun. They'll provide us with a little bit better growth output. Hong Kong city-state, that's actually not a bad one to find down south.
Had I been present at the...
Of course, as I just build that, that's getting destroyed, but that's fine. Those are getting additional yield, so that works out. Plus I can build a farm there. That'll be a really nice one, and then we can get these things upgraded, and that'll provide some more amenities for our areas. Did get conservation, so I think it was conservation, natural history. So we got natural history. We are building towards some of the things that we will need, so we're doing okay there. We will purchase that. It's going to provide us with bonuses soon. Just isn't going to apply right away. And we've got 1,000 gold left over. We're going to hold on to that to buy the research lab. That'll also boost us up from a production standpoint. We have more envoys, so we will put into 6. And then we will put 1 into that. We will get started on boosting that up, and that'll help us a lot. Jinju got done with that. Good, so that's going to provide us with a nice little bounty of extra culture. That helps. One farm that we have there could actually just make a farm down south instead. Rather replace that farm. Because by having this here, it's going to potentially boost other stuff around it, so that'll provide more value. Plus, it'll give us a chance to get started on the spaceports. If we can ideally build a good 3 of them, and 3 strong spaceports that are all within somewhat of a vicinity of each other, then we're going to be in a very good position going into the later stages of the game. I want to pick up that shipyard. That would actually be very beneficial. So we will work on the university, and then we will buy a shipyard in a few turns here as well. Good. So we are going to head to this position, and then we will... Actually, we only have 1 charge left, so... Yeah, let me just repair this. It's better that we can focus on repairs for now, and then I'll just buy another builder. Wasted a little, bit of development by wasting a turn, but not a big deal. Just have to be a bit careful. A lot of these shipyards would be incredibly powerful though for these cities. They have very little in the means of like power and production, so then we will take an amenity. That'll boost us up a little bit as well. Research lab is done. That's perfect. It's going to put us in a better position in the long term. That'll take a very long time, so it's not viable. Let's get this commercial hub going. That'll give us a little bit of extra gold per turn. Right now we need gold income. So let's take a look at any diplomatic deals that we can make here. Okay, we just got done doing quite a bit of diplomacy. We are much higher up in our gold, gold accounts. And we have pretty much everything kind of sorted out and taken care of. May consider just doing these. Stay friendly with him. Overall, our position's pretty good. We have a lot of what we need kind of taken care of. There's nowhere for him to settle. He's not going to be able to do very much to us anyways, since we have all of the cities kind of protected in this region. Good, so in our position with Daegu, we got done with that. We now have a little bit better production. We are going to pick that up. And then we are going to get a granter going. About to get another Seiwon. It's perfect. That'll boost us up a pretty nice amount. Where is this one going? This one should be going that way, not down south. But getting the amenities is going to help us a lot. It's a huge difference. Now we're at 300, where we were at 275. So makes a big difference. We'll keep working on that, just to keep the city growing. You have a promotion available. There's one similar to this, whereas if this spy is in home territory, your own spies will operate at a higher level. This one's not bad if you're like going against a lot of spy or like espionage kind of like civs. So France, for example, would do that quite a bit. Safest option is doing this. That way, at least you have a higher chance of survival if things don't work out. Seiwon is now present, so we want to first focus on getting a library going, and then let's take a look. It's going to take 10 turns. Let's save up our gold for a bit. Save up, kind of get ourselves into a better position. Keep working up our gold, our science per turn. We will get that plantation going. That'll help us a lot, actually. It's going to give us more food to work with, but also it's going to give us some amazing tiles, like yields to work with. We did get, successful siphoning there, and that's what's really key. Brazil just got done with that first project. So you can see we have some competitors that are completing it. We're just starting to make our way into that stage of the game. So we will continue to catch up as we push against them. Once we level up these spies, then we can bring them over to make sure we don't have a high chance of dying. We don't want to be in an alliance with Brazil any longer, though. Let's go at this one more time. And then Hong Kong was just killed. That sucks. It's tempting to be in alliance, but I'd rather not. I'm going to need to do
Never
the
criticize a
espionage.
rifleman.
As I'd expect, Pedro, of course, is going to win. Expect no less, considering he has one of the top civ buildings you can make that would actually be incredibly useful, because the projects they have for the carnivals and everything are really, really powerful. So we're definitely for sure getting our normal age. That's no problem. We will go for that in Rio. Get started there. Now that the factory is done, we could get another coal power plant, and that could be helpful. We will need to spend the next 2 governor titles on industrials and vertical integration, and then we will have what we need for some serious growth. We are getting much better production in the city now compared to what we were before, so we do have some options that we can, that we have presented to us. And in this case, I could build one of them there. Have a harbor, have a commercial hub. Overall, I mean, positions are not bad at all. I mean, say an industrial zone could be helpful. Because if I build another one here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 7 away. Let's do that. Since we can't build anything for science, we'll utilize that opportunity. We're going to build that there. Since all of our cities have much better yields from being in a positive amenities situation, take advantage of that. Got ourselves another great writer. We are going to take that great writer and plop him there and have him sleep. Gave us enough points as well to get into the next era. So that's not bad.
There are three things extremely hard. Steel.
Perfect. All of my cities now have been amplified, so I don't need to worry about city defenses as much. This will be better for us in the long term. And then don't worry about our low strength. We can develop that, so that's not a problem. Do have a couple more envoys. We are going to potentially put some into that. Religious conversion, not really going to happen.
Organisms don't think of CO2 as a point.
Great Barrier Reef. Honestly, if I had the means to, I would have built the city there and put a campus there, because I would have been a super high level campus, but I mean, you know. Suppose that's an interesting decision. Let's pick up open borders from him. That way I can kind of move around, get some more information. Never hurts, never hurts. He wants that 20 coal, 14 aluminum for 80 gold per turn. Yeah, sure. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of gold. I'm gonna actually pass on that one. Okay. Overall, not bad. Do have this guy available, so if he needs to repair anything, he's there.
Jim said the bees won't sting.
Got ourselves more great works to work with. Good. We'll block that there. And then next one will go to that city. So far we're doing okay, and once we get our spaceports really up and running, we're going to be in a much better position in the long term, but we're making use of things that we need for now, so it's totally okay. Got a nice amount of gold income right now, and it's going to stay that high for a little while, so we're not in a major, like, you know, conundrum or anything like that. We're doing okay. Boost that. And then Pyongyang got done with that. We will repair that. Library got done. Good. So we will purchase a university. That'll boost our science a lot. Purchase a research lab. Boost our science a lot. And then we are now on par with the AI. You know, we're a little bit behind Canada, but we're definitely like, that boosts us a lot. And that's a permanent boost, so that's really strong for us at this stage of the game. We're going to look at things that we could do that would provide us, you know, a meaningful bounty of bonuses. Right there would be a boost to a couple tiles, but wouldn't do very much. So yeah, these are charming, but they're not really high enough to be leveled up with a preserve, so preserve's out of the question. This isn't like a preserve kind of run, which is okay. You know, sometimes you get runs that go like that, so that's why it's like you just have to pay attention and see what you have available and what makes sense. Honestly, I'd like us to eventually get into a couple traders.
Our military is now trained in the way of combining.
Engineering is the art of directing the great
Good, so we
sources
have
of
access
power
to
in
refining.
nature in order to rally people.
It's perfect. Look around and we will see that there is likely a presence of oil. Yes, so we are actually, since we're in that position, we are going to, oh, you know what we could do? Take this off. That's going to hurt a little bit, but put this on. Let's actually, yeah, it loses us 20 gold per turn. Not the end of the world. Let's pick up a couple builders here. You know, a few builders would just kind of get us going a little bit more. Kind of get these cities, you know, up to a kind of par that I'm looking for, you know. And I think that's overall pretty comfortable. There's not very much else I need to do on the south. It's mostly north development. So then we'll hold on to the rest of our gold there. We have a governor title here. We will promote into industrialist, reassign you into Seoul, and then begin the transition. That way, get them over there. Good, and we got another completion. We will pick up that. We'll bring you to that position and put an oil well down. And we have another promotion. Do we have a polygraph? Don't need it. Don't need that. Technologist is definitely useful, so we will use that. And then next turn we will ship them down to Brazil and start working on catching up by getting the boosts from them. That'll help us a lot. Let's get more traders going. Plus siphoning this gold is helping us a lot, kind of catch up some of our general pace as well. That city got done with that, perfect. And then we could work on a research lab. It's going to take a while, but it could be useful. I would say, honestly, what I would like us to do is just keep working up trade routes. The more trade routes we have, the better, because then we can start trading internationally more and then really kind of boost up our gold income as well. So that will help us. Let's gain sources. Safest option for us is going to really help us when we set up the way we want. So let's go for that. Going to get to work on that city. Gongju. Take us 16 turns to get that. 25. I would rather start to work on that. Do one more turn. Good, so we made it out of that. That didn't work out in Nanshan, but that's fine. At least we made an attempt for it. That'll help our production. Yep, 5 production is fantastic. Okay, well everyone, I think this is a fantastic stopping point for this episode. Gotten quite a bit of progress in. We are now a lot more competitive with our science output. You know, yeah, Brazil is continuing to take off, so to speak. So he has quite a few spaceports here. So we will have to keep an eye on those and then try to disable as many as possible. That'll be the key to victory here. If we cannot do that, then Brazil is going to run away with the victory, as we can see. And then by the time we, hold off Brazil, we will have to go back and then work on Canada as well. But I think this is definitely, we've gotten a lot of stuff done, and I feel pretty happy. So I'd like to ask you all to please feel free, like, comment, and subscribe. I want to thank you again for the time. All right, everyone. I want to thank you all for your time. It's been a lot of fun with this episode. Gotten a lot more science progress in. We're caught up to the AI, much more compared to than we were before. We're getting a lot more competitive, and we'll continue working our way up there. But please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more daily content. We'll keep the videos coming. I want to thank you all again for your time. SpeeDMan out.